Hello everybody, I'm Maggie McDaniel. Welcome to my book talk. I work at the Plainfield Library. I love doing Reader's Advisory and I love sharing some of my favorite books with everyone. This month we're going to talk about a book by Jo Jo Moyes. Perhaps you've heard of her. She's a British author and she's suddenly gotten very popular. You may have heard of her latest book called 1+1, or maybe her breakout book, which was called Me Before You. This is a book that was written, a few years ago, I think in about 2010, and it's based on an incident in her grandmother's life that has always intrigued her. Jo Jo Moyes is a British author, but her grandmother was an Australian war bride after World War II. And what that meant was that as a girl, she met a British military man, and during his stay in Australia, they fell in love and were married, and then he went on to fight whatever battles he had to fight and was shipped back to England. And after the war was over, the British brides in Australia were all sent for, and they traveled by ship to England to meet their husbands. In this story, there are 4 girls that she basically bases her story on. They're all Australian girls who have fallen in love with British soldiers. The first one is Maggie, who is a farm girl, and she is 7 or 8 months pregnant, has only known her husband a couple, 3 months, and she's on her way to reunite with him in Great Britain. The second one is Avis. Avis is sort of a society gal, and she's kind of snooty, and she never gives up the opportunity to let everybody know that her husband is an officer. And the third girl is Frances, and Frances is a pretty intriguing character. She was a nurse during World War II, and she worked in a prison camp. And she is a very quiet young woman with a mysterious past and some secrets. And then the fourth girl is little Jean, who is 16 years old. She's only known her husband a couple of months, fell in love with him, whirlwind courtship, off he went to war and then to Great Britain, and she's on her way to meet him again. And these 4 girls are cabin mates on the ship. They're not traveling on an ocean liner or in any kind of comfort. In fact, the 4 girls are traveling with 600 other young women, mostly teenagers, and they are traveling in a decommissioned aircraft carrier. And the captain of the ship has also been decommissioned. He is an older man. He's suffering from a war wound, which has ended his career. There are 1,100 rowdy, bored, frisky young men on this ship. And then we have our 650 giddy teenage girls, many of whom have only known their husbands for short weeks. What kind of situation do you think is going to arise? It's a fascinating story based on a true story. It's a sweet book. It's a diverting read in the middle of winter. I think you'll all enjoy it. Thank you.